Today, I bring you something special. The top 7 best scooters of 2025. These are the machines leaving everyone speechless with their design, their technology, and how incredibly well they move through the city. If you're thinking about changing your bike, or you're simply passionate about this world, this video is going to ignite your desire to hit the road. We've only included the scooters that truly stand out here, the most agile, the most comfortable, and the ones setting the trend this year. Ready to meet the scooters conquering 2025? Well, hold on tight, because here we go. And before we start, you know the drill. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss a thing on this two-wheeled journey.
Aprilia SR GT 125. Imagine a scooter that isn't afraid of a dirt path. One that dodges potholes with the same elegance a trail bike tackles obstacles. And that, at the same time, moves like an absolute king in morning traffic. That's precisely the spirit of this machine. Let's break it down together, step by step. To begin with, at its heart beats a 125cc I-Get single cylinder. That's about 7.6 cubic inches. After the necessary adjustments to comply with Euro 5 regulations, it delivers the maximum 15 horsepower allowed for those riding with a car license and over 3 years of experience. But the truly beautiful thing isn't just the figure, it's how it delivers that power. It's very linear and progressive, accompanied by a torque of 12 Newton meters, or about 8.9 pound-feet. This gives you a terrific response at low and mid-range revs. In daily life, this translates into surprisingly agile urban commutes. And its top speed? It can indicate around 110 kilometers per hour on the dash. That's about 68 miles per hour. That's enough to move freely on fast roads and ring roads. But one of its strongest points is its efficiency. With a claimed consumption of only 2.5 liters every 100 kilometers, getting you about 94 US miles per gallon, and a 9-liter tank holding about 2.38 US gallons, it's not unreasonable to dream of ranges close to 400 kilometers, or about 250 miles. That's something very few scooters in this segment can boast. Furthermore, the start and stop system shuts off the engine at stops and starts it immediately with just a touch of the throttle, helping you achieve those low consumption figures. Now, what makes its behavior so different from other scooters? A lot has to do with its running gear. Aprilia hasn't mounted just any chassis, but a double-cradle tubular steel one, specifically designed to give it that unique GT character. And its suspension is truly marvelous. Up front is a 33mm Showa fork, about 1.3 inches, with a generous travel of 120mm, or 4.7 inches. At the rear are 2 Showa shocks with 102mm, 4 inches, of travel and preload adjustable in 5 positions. Add to that a ground clearance of 175mm, or 6.9 inches, and mixed tires mounted on 14 and 13-inch wheels, and you immediately understand why it moves with such confidence over speed bumps, cobblestones, and even dirt paths. For braking, it features a 260mm front disc, about 10.2 inches, with ABS, and a 220mm rear disc, or 8.7 inches. It's a combination more than enough to convey security and good control in any situation. On the technological front, the SR GT 125 is as practical as it is efficient. It comes standard with a clear and complete monochrome LCD screen, and all lighting is LED. Under the seat, you'll find space to store a full-face helmet and a jet helmet, and in the glove compartment awaits a very useful USB port for charging your phone. If you want to go a step further, you can optionally add the MIA connectivity system. For about €150 or roughly $160, it allows you to link your smartphone with the bike to manage calls, navigation, and other functions directly from the dash. And let's talk about its design and comfort, because this is where it truly wins you over. The riding position is more active and upright than a conventional scooter, almost as if you were on an enduro bike, thanks to a wide and clear handlebar. The seat is placed at a height of 799mm, about 31.5 inches. It's narrow at the front, which makes it much easier to reach the ground and provides great confidence in slow maneuvers or at traffic lights. Moreover, at only 144 kilograms ready to ride, that's about 317.5 pounds, it's a light and very manageable bike. Its aesthetics are unmistakable. That front end, inspired by Aprilia sports bikes, with the 3 LED elements in the style of the RSV4, gives it an aggressive and unique look within its segment. As for price, in the European market, the base model starts from €32.99, approximately $3,500. Unfortunately, there is no official information about its availability or price in the United States, which suggests it's probably not officially sold there. Regarding opinions, both users and media agree on several strong points: its fun and versatile character, that all-terrain touch, the excellent range it can offer, the good overall feeling of quality, and how comfortable its riding position is. Among the less favorable aspects, some mention that the foot space could have better anti-slip finishing and that the levers can be a bit far for those with smaller hands. However, no chronic failures or recurring problems with this model are reported, according to the sources consulted. So, if you're looking for a scooter with a motorcycle spirit, the Aprilia SR-GT 125 is made for those who live in the city but dream of escaping to any road. It's ideal for someone who wants a practical and very agile vehicle for daily life, but without giving up that touch of adventure on weekends. Perfect for beginners, for those who use their car license to get around on 2 wheels, and in general, for any enthusiast looking for a scooter with character, presence, and a personality that stands out from all the rest.
MAXSYM TL508. It's a statement of intent on wheels that fuses the agility of a sports bike with the comfort and practicality of a maxi scooter. Let's break down all the updated technical information so you feel like you're already riding it. The first thing you need to know is that under its body beats a 508cc parallel twin engine. That's about 31 cubic inches, and it is an absolute delight. This liquid-cooled 8-valve block delivers 45 horsepower and, more importantly, a torque of 49 newton meters, which is about 36.1 pound-feet, that you feel available from very low revs. This translates into an acceleration that is surprisingly smooth and vigorous at the same time, with a power delivery that seems never-ending. It allows you to reach a maximum speed of about 160 kilometers per hour or 99 miles per hour with total tranquility. Smoothness is its hallmark, thanks to a balancer shaft that minimizes vibrations to the point of almost eliminating them. As for consumption, although the technical data sheets don't specify it, its 12.5-liter tank, about 3.3 US gallons, gives you a good margin to enjoy long trips without constantly worrying about the gas station. This is where it really separates from the pack. Forget traditional conceptions of a scooter, because its chassis and suspension are designed for dynamism. The tubular steel chassis is combined with a 41mm inverted fork at the front, that's about 1.6 inches, a component until recently only seen on sports bikes, which provides exceptional rigidity and stability during braking and cornering. At the rear, a side-mounted shock absorber system with multi-link guarantees that the rear wheel stays glued to the asphalt, absorbing bumps delicately and offering feedback that isn't common in this segment. To stop all this energy, it has a top-of-the-line braking system, 2 275mm front discs about 10.8 inches with radial 4-piston calipers and a rear disc of the same diameter, assisted by a dual-channel Continental ABS that gives you absolute confidence in any condition. When you get on this scooter, you're greeted by an impressive 4.5-inch auto-adjustable color TFT screen that offers 3 different interfaces to display all the information you need. But the technology isn't just for show, it's to protect you. One of its great additions is the traction control, which you can switch off if you wish. It prevents rear-wheel slip on slippery surfaces, a huge aid that provides a lot of peace of mind. It also features a practical keyless system, so you won't need to take the key out of your pocket to start it, and a USB charging port in one of its 2 front glove compartments to keep your devices at 100%. Its design is aggressive and muscular, with full LED lighting that gives it a modern and technological look, especially in its 3D effect rear light. But it's not just for show. Its seat height is 795 millimeters, about 31.3 inches, makes it very accessible for most sizes, and the riding position is natural and relaxed. The foot platform allows you to stretch your legs on long trips, and a small lumbar support on the seat offers extra support. Under that seat hides a trunk with space for a full-face helmet or 2 jet helmets, something essential for daily life. To top it off, the windshield is adjustable in 2 positions, allowing you to find the perfect point of aerodynamic protection. Here comes one of its strong points. In Europe, the current promotional price is €8,999, which is about $9,550. That's a true feat considering its equipment and that direct rivals can easily exceed €10,000. Unfortunately, there is no reliable information on an official price for the United States, as it seems its commercialization is mainly focused on the European and Asian markets. Regarding opinions, users overwhelmingly highlight its sportiness and agile handling, which feels like a naked bike, and its excellent value for money. Specialized media praise its smooth and characterful engine and the security provided by its ABS and traction control. However, not everything is perfect. Some users have reported on forums some frequent faults, such as a fuel sensor that isn't completely precise, leaving some riders stranded despite indicating reserve. There are also comments about fuel consumption being somewhat high for the category and in isolated cases problems with the clutch, which should be noted have been covered by the 5-year warranty offered by MAXSYM. So, who is the ideal rider? If you're looking for a unique vehicle for daily life in the city that, come the weekend, allows you to escape on twisty roads without being the limiting factor, the TL508 is your perfect companion. It's ideal for the urban rider who appreciates the practicality of a scooter with its trunk and comfort, but refuses to give up the sensations and dynamism of a traditional motorcycle. Although its weight may deter absolute beginners, its low-speed handling and accessible seat height make it manageable for those with some experience. Without a doubt, it's the perfect adventure companion for those who want to have it all without paying a fortune for it.
Honda ADV 350. If you're looking for a bike that takes you to work during the week in total comfort, but is also capable of escaping with you on a Saturday down those back roads you love so much, you have to meet the ADV 350. Today, I'm going to tell you all the details of this scooter with an adventurer's soul, which in 2025 arrives with improvements that make it more irresistible than ever. Imagine this, a design that directly inherits the robust and exploratory DNA of the great X-ADV, but with all the practicality of daily life that a scooter offers. From the first glance, its crossover attitude captivates you. It has a generous height, a ground clearance of 145 millimeters, about 5.7 inches, to overcome obstacles without fear, and a dominant front end crowned by that characteristic dual LED headlight. But it's not just about appearance. Its bodywork is designed for real life, with a manually adjustable windshield in 4 positions, so whether you're riding in the city or on the highway, you always find the perfect aerodynamic protection. Now, let's talk about what really matters, how it moves. At the heart of this ADV 350 beats an ESP Plus single-cylinder engine of 330 cubic centimeters, or about 20.1 cubic inches. For 2025, it receives a new ECU and an updated exhaust. It delivers 29 horsepower at 7,500 revolutions per minute, and best of all, a very juicy torque of 31 newton meters, about 22.9 pound-feet at 5,250 RPM. What does all this mean? Lively acceleration to get off the line at traffic lights with ease, stability on the road to maintain cruising speeds of 120 kilometers per hour, about 75 miles per hour, without straining the engine, and a top speed that hovers around 133 kilometers per hour or 83 miles per hour. And note this strong point. Its consumption, with only 3.4 liters every 100 kilometers homologated, about 69 US miles per gallon, and an 11.7 liter tank holding roughly 3.1 US gallons, you can travel more than 330 kilometers, or about 205 miles, before seeing a gas station again. And how does it behave when the asphalt ends? This is where its running gear proves this isn't just any scooter.
It mounts a tubular steel chassis and a 37mm inverted fork, about 1.46 inches, equipment that could perfectly belong to a light trail bike. For 2025, the rear suspension takes a big leap thanks to dual tube shocks with adjustable preload, ideal for adjusting the bike if you're carrying a passenger or luggage. The wheels, 15 inches at the front and 14 at the rear, are fitted with mixed pattern tires which offer excellent grip both in the wet and on those simple dirt paths that encourage you to explore. Braking is entrusted to a 256mm disc at the front, about 10.1 inches, and another of 240mm, 9.4 inches at the rear, with 2-channel ABS and an ESS emergency stop signal system that alerts vehicles behind you if you brake sharply. And now comes the most surprising part. The technology. For 2025, the instrument panel evolves to a spectacular 5-inch color TFT screen with the Honda RoadSync system. You connect your smartphone and have turn-by-turn navigation, music control, and call management directly on the screen. Everything is controlled with a backlit joystick on the handlebar that is an absolute delight to use. And what can we say about the Smart Key? Once you try it, there's no going back. With it in your pocket, you start the bike, open the seat, and forget about keys forever. Let's talk about comfort, because there's a lot here too. Under the seat, situated at a height of 795mm, about 31.3 inches, and accessible for most users, you find 48 liters of space, about 1.7 cubic feet, enough to store 2 full-face helmets. It now also includes an interior light, a very useful detail when night falls. In the glove compartment, you have a USB port to keep your phone always charged. The riding position is natural, upright, very comfortable with a wide handlebar that conveys control, and the windshield, although not as enveloping as that of a purely touring scooter, performs its function better than you might imagine. And we come to the million-dollar question. How much does it cost? In Europe, the recommended official price starts at 6,740 euros for the 2025 and 2026 models. That's approximately 7,150 US dollars. However, there is currently no updated official information about its price in the United States, where the data still focuses almost exclusively on the European market. If you listen to the community, opinions are almost unanimous. The TFT connectivity with RoadSync is a total game changer. The long travel suspension eats bumps like they're nothing, and its range is a wonder for its displacement. Many describe it as a surprisingly capable bike beyond the urban environment. But, of course, no bike is perfect. Taller users comment that the screen is a bit low for them, and they miss a touring version with more protection. It's also true that the CVT transmission, although smooth, can have that small rubber band effect if you come from a geared motorcycle, although it's something you adapt to quickly. And one detail where the competition is starting to take the lead, its ABS is not the cornering type, something that some rivals like certain Yamaha X-Max models do offer. So, who is this ADV for? For those looking for a single vehicle capable of doing practically everything. It's perfect for daily city life thanks to its agility and carrying capacity, but it's also a more than worthy companion for back roads or even for trying out those dirt paths you've always looked at with curiosity. It's ideal for those coming from a 125 and wanting to make the leap with an A2 license as it comes restricted from the factory. And it's also a fantastic option for experienced riders looking for practicality, comfort, and style without giving up fun.
ZONTES 350E. It is much more than a simple scooter. It's like a Swiss Army knife on 2 wheels, designed for those who want it all. Here I bring you the details as of today, with the freshest info on its 2025 versions. Imagine a single-cylinder engine of 349 cubic centimeters, or about 21.3 cubic inches that, thanks to its work in conjunction with Bosch, unleashes 36 horsepower and a torque of 38 newton meters, about 28 pound-feet, These aren't just numbers on paper. They translate into a capacity to reach a maximum speed of around 144 kilometers per hour, or 89 miles per hour, positioning it as one of the most powerful in its category, even rivaling scooters of 400 cubic centimeters. But don't think it's a gas guzzler. With a consumption of approximately 3.5 liters every 100 kilometers, getting about 67 US miles per gallon, and a generous fuel tank of 16 liters, about 4.2 US gallons, it guarantees a range that approaches 450 kilometers, or 280 miles. That's perfect for those getaways without stopping all the time. And to adapt to your mood, it includes 2 riding modes: an eco mode to save when you're cruising, and a sport mode that activates automatically when you need that power boost for an overtake, making every trip exactly how you want it. Now, what about the running gear? This is where the 350e proves it's built to really ride. The multi-tubular steel chassis is light and robust, offering road stability you'll appreciate in corners. The suspension, with a telescopic front fork and 2 rear shocks adjustable in preload, is calibrated to filter the imperfections of the asphalt without losing composure. And when it's time to brake, it does so with the security provided by J-Juan brakes. It has a front disc with a radial 4-piston caliper and, most importantly, standard dual-channel ABS and traction control. This TCS system is your invisible bodyguard watching to ensure the rear wheel doesn't slip on slippery surfaces like wet pavement or gravel, giving you extra confidence. But wait, because if there's something that really makes this bike stand out, it's its incredible technological display. Getting on the ZONTES 350e is like getting into the cockpit of a spaceship. The first thing you see is a high-definition color TFT screen that not only displays all vital information, but also offers Bluetooth connectivity to manage calls and music, and even the function of screen mirroring to project your smartphone directly onto the dash. The PKE 3.0 Smart Key System is a marvel. The bike unlocks itself when you approach with the key bracelet and locks again when you walk away, so you'll never have to search for the key fob in your pockets again. And for cold days, the heated grips are standard, a luxury that completely changes the winter experience. Add to that a windshield that adjusts in height with just the press of a button to find the perfect protection against the wind, and you have equipment few rivals can match. As for design and comfort, the ZONTES 350e defines itself as a maxi touring scooter designed to devour kilometers with comfort. Its line is aerodynamic and of great presence, with full LED lighting that not only looks modern, but ensures optimal visibility at night. The riding position is relaxed and natural, with a seat at a height of 770 millimeters, about 30.3 inches, that allows most riders to support their feet well on the ground. It even has 2 positions for placing the feet, one more vertical for the city and one more stretched out for the road, a detail appreciated on long trips. And speaking of trips, its cargo capacity is beastly. Under the seat, you store 2 full-face helmets, and it also has 2 large front glove compartments for all your personal items. In the section of opinions from real users, the advantages are clear. Owners highlight, above all, its excellent value for money by offering luxury equipment at a contained cost. They also praise its engine, describing it as powerful, smooth, and very reliable, ideal for undertaking long trips of hundreds of kilometers without any problem. As a disadvantage or point for improvement, several users agree on one specific aspect. The stock tires, the CST brand, don't offer the best grip, and it's one of the first investments they recommend making to improve safety and cornering feel. In forums, some owners have reported generally satisfactory mechanical reliability with simple maintenance, although as with any vehicle, it's crucial to follow scheduled services to avoid inconveniences. And the price? To give you an idea, in the European market, such as in Spain, the price of the ZONTES 350e is around 5,087 euros, or about 5,400 US dollars. Unfortunately, in the available results, I haven't been able to find an official and updated price for the United States market, although it's usually a bike sold in several American countries. So, Who is the ZONTES 350E for? If you are a person looking for a unique vehicle for everything, this bike is your perfect ally. It's ideal for the urban rider who needs an agile and practical companion for daily life, but who also dreams of escaping on weekends on open roads without sacrificing one bit of comfort or equipment. Its accessible handling and the security of traction control make it a fantastic option for beginners who want to start with a safe and fully featured bike, and even for retirees who value the comfort, ease of riding, and the protection it offers on their journeys. KEEWAY VIESTE XDV 300. Think of it as a scooter with the heart of an explorer. It combines the practicality of a maxi scooter with an all-terrain attitude that comes from its adventure bike-inspired design. Let's start with what moves it, its heart. It carries inside a 278cc liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine that's about 17 cubic inches. And this is a very interesting fact. It is of Piaggio origin, which promises a good base of reliability. This engine offers a power of 25.8 horsepower, giving it a very lively push to enjoy on the road, and a maximum torque of 24 newton meters, about 17.7 pound-feet. That's the force you feel when opening the throttle for an overtake or to climb a hill with total ease. Although specific consumption data is not available in the sources consulted, its efficient engine and a fuel tank of 13.5 liters, or about 3.57 US gallons, assure you of quite extensive rides between trips to the gas station. But a good adventure requires a good chassis, and here is where the VIESTE 300 XDE really shines. To face irregular terrain, it features an inverted fork from the recognized brand KYMCO at the front, with a generous travel of 90 millimeters, about 3.5 inches, and two rear shocks, also from KYMCO. This configuration not only improves its robust appearance, but provides you with enviable smoothness and control over bumps and uneven surfaces. Safety is in the hands of disc brakes with calipers from the prestigious firm J1, with a 240mm front disc, 9.4 inches, and a 220mm rear one, or 8.7 inches, offering you a braking power that inspires a lot of confidence. With a weight of 159 kilograms, about 350.5 pounds, and a ground clearance of 160 millimeters, or 6.3 inches, it's an agile scooter in the city and with the capacity to overcome obstacles without a problem when you leave the asphalt. Now let's talk about the technology that accompanies you. KEEWAY has equipped this scooter with a level of equipment we could call premium. The lighting is full LED, which not only looks good, but guarantees you better nighttime visibility. For those cold days, you'll be glad to know it includes heated grips with 3 intensity levels, a luxury you'll appreciate on your winter mornings. Additionally, it features a keyless system, so you won't have to search for the key in your pocket to start or open the compartment. Under the seat, you have space to store a full-face helmet, and in the front, you'll find a waterproof glove box with a practical USB port to keep your devices always charged. As for design and comfort, the VIESTE 300 XDV wants your trips to be as pleasant as possible. Its seat, with a height of 800 millimeters, or about 31.5 inches, is accessible for a great variety of heights, and being a two-seater model, you can carry a passenger without problems. The riding position is upright and natural, typical of scooters, but with a wide handlebar that gives you great control. The windshield is manually adjustable in 3 positions, allowing you to adjust it to protect you from the wind according to your needs on each trip. Its adventure style is noticeable in the protectors and plastic panels that give it a robust and ready air, as if it were always prepared for a new exploration. In terms of price, in the European market, you can get this scooter for a promotional price of 3,990 euros, approximately 4,230 US dollars. After the campaign, it rises to 4,290 euros, or about 4,550 US dollars. Unfortunately, and this is a shame for our friends on the other side of the pond, there is no confirmed information about its official sale or an updated price in the United States. Listening to users and experts, opinions are generally positive, but with some points to consider. The main advantage everyone highlights is its excellent value for money, offering components from top brands like KYMCO and J1 at a very competitive cost. Its complete equipment, with the heated grips and keyless key, is another of its strong points.
As for potential disadvantages, some users of other models from the brand have reported on forums certain difficulty in finding spare parts in some countries, something important to verify locally. Furthermore, although its design is adventure, some specialists remind that at its core, it's a scooter designed mainly for use on asphalt, so its adventure should be rather mild. So, who's the 300 XDV for? It's the ideal companion if you're looking for a versatile scooter with character. Perfect for those who need an agile and comfortable vehicle for daily life in the city, but don't want to give up the excitement of a weekend getaway on back roads or easy dirt paths. Its accessible handling and the comfort it offers make it a great option for a wide audience, from experienced riders looking for a practical and fun bike to those starting out in the world of two wheels and wanting to begin with a very complete and personality-filled option.
KYMCO DTX 350. It is, without a doubt, one of the most interesting and fun proposals of the moment in the world of scooters. Imagine a scooter with all the agility needed to survive daily life in the city, but with an adventurous heart that invites you to explore beyond the asphalt. So let's break it down piece by piece so you understand why it's generating so much buzz and why so many are looking at it with great interest. To start, let's talk about its heart. Under the bodywork beats a 321cc single-cylinder engine, about 19.6 cubic inches, that in its 2025 version arrives completely adapted to Euro 5 regulations. This block delivers 27 horsepower at 7,250 RPM and a torque of 29 Newton meters, about 21.4 pound-feet at 5,750 revolutions per minute. What does this mean in daily life? An agile, lively response perfect for urban traffic and with enough power to overtake safely or to enjoy those weekend getaways without feeling a lack of thrust. Furthermore, KYMCO has managed to maintain these performance figures with very responsible consumption, about 3.8 liters each 100 kilometers, achieving roughly 62 US miles per gallon. That's an excellent figure to not limit your plans when the tank starts to get low. Now let's get to what makes it really special. Imagine a scooter that, at first glance, looks like an adventure bike. Exactly that is the DTX 350. Its crossover design is a whole statement of intent, with a front fender in duckbill style and robust lines that convey it's ready for any road. And that feeling intensifies when you get on it. The riding position is upright and very commanding, with a wide handlebar that gives you absolute control, accompanied by a seat height of 800 millimeters, or 31.5 inches. Although it may sound high, it's accessible for the vast majority of riders. For 2025, KYMCO has paid special attention to comfort. It incorporates a new seat with softer foam for long journeys and footrests with metallic coating that not only improve aesthetics but also durability. But every adventurer needs a chassis up to the task. Here, the DTX 350 opts for a tubular steel chassis that offers excellent rigidity and stability. The suspension is composed of a 37mm hydraulic front fork, about 1.46 inches, and a rear system with dual shock absorbers. The big news is that it is now adjustable in preload in 5 positions. This allows you to adjust the stiffness depending on whether you're riding solo, with a passenger, or loaded with luggage, a very valuable detail in this segment. In terms of safety, it comes very well armed. Disc brakes with dual-channel ABS that convey a lot of confidence, and traction control that acts as a silent assistant, preventing loss of grip on slippery surfaces when you give too much throttle. In technology, it also surprises. The DTX 350 features a keyless system, so you can forget about taking out the key. Just have the fob in your pocket to start or open the fuel cap. The instrumentation is a 100% digital panel, sharp, clear, and easy to read at a glance. And so you don't run out of battery on your phone, it brings USB ports in strategic points to charge devices during the trip. The full LED lighting not only gives it a modern and sophisticated look, but notably improves nighttime visibility and your safety on the road. And now let's talk about price, because good news is coming. In the European market, the DTX 350 has a price of €4,650 cash.
That's about $4,930 US. KYMCO has made a big effort to make it more accessible, and this price represents a reduction of almost €1,000 compared to the previous model. Unfortunately, in the information consulted, there is no official price for the United States. So, if you're thinking of acquiring it there, the best thing is to consult directly with a dealership. The opinions of the community and experts agree on several strong points. First, that unique design that makes it stand out in a crowd of scooters. Second, its agility in the city, which is truly remarkable. And third, a very complete equipment list where the traction control and ABS shine. The space under the seat is also one of its great attractions, as it allows you to store 2 full-face helmets, something uncommon and that completely changes the practicality of daily life. As points for improvement, some users mention that the suspension travel, although effective for mixed use, falls short for more serious off-roading. And regarding rivals like the Honda ADV 350, its screen is still LCD instead of TFT with connectivity, an area where that price adjustment is noticeable. So, who is this bike for? For anyone who needs a main vehicle that is agile, comfortable, and totally prepared for daily life in the city, but who at the same time feels the call of adventure on weekends and wants to do routes on dirt or back roads. The DTX 350 is perfect for that urban adventurer user, and it's also a fantastic option for beginners thanks to its intuitive handling and electronic aids that provide safety. Its low consumption, practicality, and crossover spirit make it an ideal companion both for daily life and for spontaneous getaways.
And that's said for this top 7 scooters of 2025. 7 machines that prove mobility today is more exciting than ever. If I had to choose one, I'd go without a doubt for the MAXSYM TL508, because it's not just a scooter, it's a statement of intent. Daily comfort, sporting soul, and that feeling of freedom that reminds you why we love 2 wheels. But now it's your turn. Which one stole your heart? Leave it in the comments. I always read them. If you like this video, subscribe, hit the like button, and activate the bell to make this Moto family bigger and bigger. Good roads to everyone.